When it comes to the civil rights movement, many people think of the popular social activists, like Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, or the pioneers of the scientific field, like George Washington Carver. However, most people don't tend to think of the business aspect of the rights movement. However, these people were just as important and fundamental in gaining civil rights. One of the most influential was A.G. Gaston, a veteran, philanthropist, entrepreneur, and businessman.
George Gaston was born on July 4, 1892, to Tom and Rosa MacDonald Gaston. After his mother got a new job, the family had to move to Birmingham, Alabama. There he attended the Tuggle Institute in Birmingham, but left in 10th grade. In 1910, he joined the Army during World War I and served in France. When he was honorably discharged, he moved back to Birmingham, Alabama, and continued his extensive business career.
This is a modern image of Demopolis, Alabama, A.G. Gaston's hometown and birthplace.
Gaston started his first business at a young age, selling swing rides for buttons. After serving in the Army and moving back to Birmingham, he found a job working at the Tennessee Coal and Iron Company. During this job, he noticed a need in the African American community for fine funerals. That's when he started his own funeral society. Members would pay 25 cents for a fine burial upon death. When he started, however, he encountered a problem. One person of the group had already passed away, and he was nowhere near having the funds to pay for her funeral.
He overcame this financial difficulty by making a bargain with an understanding Birmingham funeral director. These were his first steps into becoming a well-known and respected entrepreneur to the Black community.
Throughout his life, he continued to start businesses where he saw the need. Examples could include the Booker T. Washington Insurance Company, the Smith and Gaston Funeral Home, the Citizens Federal Savings, and the A.G. Gaston Motel. His motel was the most well-known since it provided first-class lodging and dining to African Americans. Because of its accessibility, the motel was a choice headquarters for the local civil rights campaigns. When these campaigns finally led to a peaceful compromise between the local white business owners and the civil rights leaders, the motel was subject to violent protests to the compromise. A bomb was detonated at the motel, leaving a door-sized hole in the building and 4 people slightly injured. Deterring protests like these did not stop the persistent spirit of A.G. Gaston, where it continued to be used until closing after having been used as housing for the elderly in 1996. Today, the A.G. Gaston Motel is owned by the National Park Service in the city of Birmingham as part of the Birmingham Civil Rights National Monument, where it can be seen as a heritage tourism and commemoration along with several other sites associated with the civil rights movement in the city of Alabama.
A.G. Gaston, using the money earned from his long history of entrepreneurship, was able to support Black communities and activists. Some of his most notable actions would be housing famous changemakers like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He also bailed him and other activists out of jail when they were arrested during the Birmingham demonstrations. Many of his businesses, such as the Citizens Federal Savings and Loans Bank and the A.G. Gaston Motel, were also a big deal for the time period, since they provided services for the Black community that were often not seen elsewhere. Although he did financially support Dr. King, he did not directly agree with Dr. King's ideology about being confrontational and preferred to negotiate with white business leaders. He was considered a moderate since he funded Black radicals but also supported white businessmen and leaders. A.G. Gaston was also well known for his attitude about business, which can be shown in one of his mottos, "Find a need and fill it." His whole business journey was based around filling common job needs for the Black community. Most of his businesses provided jobs for many African Americans. He also started the Booker T. Washington Institute, which helped educate Black Americans about the business industry and helped empower them. A.G. Gaston's motto, "Find a need and fill it," didn't just apply to businesses. He founded the A.G. Gaston Boys Club in 1966 after seeing boys that needed a place to gather and learn. Girls were allowed to join later. A.G. Gaston passed away on January 19, 1996, at the age of 103. He had built a business empire that was worth at least $300 million today. His journey from poverty to being a multimillionaire helped create a path for Black entrepreneurs, and his legacy still lives in Birmingham. A number of his businesses still continue, including Citizens Trust Bank and A.G. Gaston Boys and Girls Club.
To conclude our project, here is a slide listing our extensive resources used to aid in the research of this project. Many of these are from the county, such as in ClassLink, or on the assignments include teams. All the others are trusted websites from the internet. Thank you so much for listening and giving us a chance to learn about influential figures such as these. We hope you are just as lightning from this project as we are. Thank you. This was an amazing opportunity, and we'd love to do a project like this again. Goodbye.